thrill me.
This show is part of the Thrill Me Podcast Network. Experience more on Facebook and YouTube.
Heyo, and welcome to the Review It Rob show. I am your host, Review It Rob, coming at you with an exciting review this week. I'm going to be talking about Black Adam, the film I was highly anticipating, the last film of the year that I was highly anticipating, man. I can't wait to talk about that and let you know how I felt going into that. If you already saw my video on YouTube, you kind of get an idea, but hey, nonetheless, we're going to be talking about that movie as well as all the latest news, the big news coming out of DC earlier today, as well as all the horror news, man. Appreciate you all joining me for this week's episode. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe, share with all your friends. Check out the Thrill Me Podcast Network on YouTube, where we got all kinds of awesome stuff going on over there. We've got Zach from Hunter's Podcast and Proper Guidance doing some gaming. He's streaming some games this week. My brother Tombstone Josh from the Metal Groove just did a trailer reaction to the Ant-Man trailer. We'll talk about that a little bit later on this show as the new Ant-Man trailer came out. He did his reaction to it. He is an Ant-Man fan. That is his Marvel boy. So, of course, we wanted him to do the trailer reaction for that movie. It only felt right. And then just all kinds of other good fun stuff going on over there. And there is a special event coming up with a giveaway for a He-Man Funko. So be sure to pay attention to that. Again, please give us a like, subscribe, share on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Man, Thrill Me Podcast Network. Hope you all have been doing great since the last time we talked. I've been doing pretty good. Pretty awesome weekend. Hung out with my before mentioned brother over the weekend. We watched some football. We watched wrestling. NXT's Halloween Havoc event happened over the weekend. A pretty good event. Can't complain. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with every single match. Every match was good. You know, I had some stipulations, spin the wheel, make the deal kind of matches. We had a casket match, man. We had freaking Weapons Wild match. We had some stuff going on. It was a pretty solid event. You can check that out on Peacock if you get the Peacock. It's Halloween week as well, right? So hope you all have had a great time watching your spooky stuff. Hope you got all your spooky stuff planned out for this week for Halloween coming up. Hope you got your costume ready. I've got mine kind of ready at this point. You know, I got the idea of what I want to go with. Going to throw in a little Easter egg with my costume this year. You know, I'm never like 100% on with the characters I dress up as every year because I just like having fun, man. I don't care about perfection in general, let alone, you know, Halloween costumes. But I hope everybody out there is going to have a great time and a safe and happy Halloween, man. Halloween has forever been my favorite holiday, and we are a week from Halloween, man. Next Monday. So the next night that I record my show is going to be on Halloween. So that one might be a little bit late because I plan on doing a little trick-or-treating. I'm not going to be personally trick-or-treating, but going out with my brother's family. He's got at least one kid. I'm sure that still tricks or treats. It's still not too freaking cool for school and still goes out and trick-or-treats, man. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and move forward here. I mentioned it before. We're going to be talking about Black Adam, the latest film from the DC universe. So let's go ahead and cue up that trailer, and I will be back with my thoughts on the film.
My son sacrificed his life to save me. These powers are not a gift, but a curse. Born out of rage. Tourmentez-la.
This loose cannon needs to be locked down before innocent people start getting hurt.
He's been asleep for 5,000 years.
You find us a cell that can hold him, we'll take care of the rest.
Who's on the team? I didn't bring a passport.
You don't need passports. You're the Justice Society.
There's a war going on outside we ain't safe from.
Black Adam.
We're here to negotiate your peaceful surrender.
Heard about at least 3 killings this afternoon.
I'm not peaceful.
Nor do I surrender.
Here we go.
I kneel before no one.
You didn't come here to seek justice. You came to exact revenge.
Too much enemy fire to catch a friend.
I never said I was a hero.
Giving you respect, I expect the same thing.
You believe you are not worthy. But fate does not make mistakes.
I'm fighting for you. There's a war going on outside we ain't safe from.
You have two paths. You can be the destroyer of this world. Or you can be its savior.
Woo! Man, that freaking trailer got me amped up, dude. Probably just blew some eardrums out there. Sorry. You know, it happens. I'm excited. Excited, man. The trailer got me amped. All right, Black Adam is rated PG-13 for sequences of strong violence, intense action, and some language. It is an action-adventure film, 2 hours, 5 minutes. It is in theaters only. Nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with his almighty powers of the ancient gods and imprisoned just as quickly, Black Adam is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash his unique form of justice on the modern world. Rotten Tomatoes has a critic score of 39%, while the audience score has it at a 90%. IMDb has it at a 7.1 out of 10. Not surprised there. Rotten Tomatoes hates DC films. They really do. It's freaking sad and disgusting. But yeah, man, as mentioned before, I was highly anticipating this movie. It's probably the last movie I had that was on my highly anticipated films list. Now you can say probably, because I can't even think any other movies at the moment. Yeah, we've got Avatar 2 coming, but I'm not hyped about that at all. I can care less about that movie, to be honest with you. And we do have Black Panther 2 coming, which I am interested in, but I'm not going to say I'm necessarily hyped about that movie. We'll look at the rest of the year's movies after I can talk about the review here to suck. Yeah, you know, just see what else we've got coming here. But yeah, I was so excited going into this movie, man. Been highly anticipating it since we got that first look back at DC Fandom a while ago, and we saw him do the freaking fatality in there and all that stuff for you Mortal Kombat fans. And it's like, oh, this movie's going to be awesome, man. The Rock's in here. He's going to be freaking a badass, and he's going to be kicking ass and taking names and freaking making them smell what The Rock is cooking and all that stuff. And let me tell you, had an absolute blast of a time with this movie. Just, oh my God, so incredible. The action scenes in the movie, that's one of the first things you think about when it comes to these superhero comic book movies, if you will, as I use air quotes so nobody can see because this isn't a video, is how much action, the action pack and all that stuff. While I don't necessarily read a whole lot of comic books, I know that in comic books, action's a big deal there, and they like to use the bold colors and all that stuff. So action's one of the things that people think about when it comes to these movies. And this movie action-packed as far as I'm concerned. Like, every single action scene is just badass. Like, not even kidding. Like, that's how I felt the whole time. Like, this is freaking awesome. Let's go, man. The battles were so cool, and the scenes were so intense, and just, you know, you got the violence, you got the aggression, you got the battling going on. It was so cool just seeing that and experiencing it on the big screen. We saw it on RPX, so the seats were like rumbling and all that stuff. It's like, oh, so perfect. Like the perfect storm. Story's good. Again, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, the story is what you need. It's basically an origin story for Black Adam, as was expected. The Rock talked about that before, how this movie is an origin story. That's why we're not seeing Shazam necessarily associated with the film, because The Rock said it would be better if Black Adam was an origin story and Shazam had his own origin story as well. We'll see Black Adam and Shazam, I'm sure, at some point in time. I mean, it would be insane not to. But yeah, you know, the story is fine. I don't really have any negatives about the movie, to be honest with you. I think the biggest negative of the movie is that piece of shit Kanye West. One of his songs is in the movie. Well, that's, you know, unfortunate. You know, can't stand that guy. I've always had an issue with that guy, and he's showing his ass even more lately. Not gonna go too much into that, but yeah, fuck that guy. But so that's like the biggest issue I have with the movie. You know, it seems maybe they rushed here or there every now and then, which is kind of crazy to think about this movie. That was 15 years in the making. They kind of rushed some points in the movie. I'm not gonna, you know, sit here and deny that happened, because you got to get that nice ending. But I mean, overall, what a freaking movie. I'm so happy that it lived up to my expectations, in all honesty. Like, I was expecting to have a really good time going into it. I wasn't looking for like a freaking grade A, 100% awesome, award-winning movie or anything like that. I was going in there looking for a badass movie, and that's what I got. Like, I had a good freaking time watching that movie. Again, action scenes are badass. The comedy that was in the movie was sprinkled in there good enough to where it wasn't over the top or ridiculous. Like, it fit everything that was going on. The story can definitely pull on your heartstrings a little bit if you let it. You know, they did a good job, man. Like, I really think the movie's a solid. It's hard to really describe where they're going with the DC, because obviously, you know, things are changing, and you know, you got the new people in charge over there, and they're putting this thing here and putting this thing there, and then, you know, trying to reboot the story while not necessarily changing everything. Because if you've seen the trailers and all that stuff, you've seen Amanda Waller. You know, we've seen her in there. And of course, Amanda Waller was in both Suicide Squad movies, as well as the Peacemaker show. Speaking of the Peacemaker show, Harcourt is also in this film for a couple minutes. You know, so it's interesting to try to figure out where they're going, but this is a good, you know, bridging point, especially with that mid-credit scene. Only one credit scene, but that mid-credit scene, I lost my freaking mind. Now, I will say, it was spoiled for me in a way, because, you know, it was leaked online. Like, the freaking day before the movie even came out, it was already leaked online, because people fucking suck. They suck so hard. So I didn't see the scene, but I knew what the scene was of. And I'm going to try not to spoil stuff here, but maybe I'll have to talk about it later. But I didn't see the scene itself. There's the option to watch the scene. I'm like, no, I ain't watching that. I can wait till the theaters to see that. I don't need to see it now. And I'm so glad I did, because I was in the theaters, man. I was just, you know, I was like leaned forward, had my hands like to get clenched together, like right against my mouth, just freaking losing my mind, tearing up, you know, freaking got the goosebumps and all that stuff. Like, it was just absolutely incredible freaking mid-credit scene. That just, I can't wait to see where they're going future-wise. Cast is fantastic in this movie. Of course, you've got The Rock. You know what you're getting with The Rock. He is the most electrifying man in all of entertainment at this point. Like, you know what you're getting, man. He does a lot of action movies. He's charismatic as hell, and this movie's more of the brooding, I guess, if you will, character in Black Adam. He's the strong-toed. He's there to be the protector, so he's got like the protector thing going on. He's good. He's doing a great job. From there, gotta give love to Aldous Hodge as Hawkman. Freaking fantastic in the movie, dude. Like, he is great actor. Like, we've already known this, but he just freaking delivers on every single aspect that he is needed in the film. Like, so great seeing him. Speaking of delivering on every single aspect needed in the film, Pierce Brosnan, can we give him enough love? Like, his Dr. Fate was so awesome. I saw somewhere where he said seeing Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange helped inspire him to want to play Doctor Fate, and you can see the parallels there between the two characters on screen, but so cool seeing the Doctor Fate stuff on the screen. Hope we get more stuff of Doctor Fate. I'll watch a whole Doctor Fate movie if need be, because that was so cool and awesome, and Pierce Brosnan's just killing it on stage in the film throughout. Quintessa Swindle as Cyclone, great stuff. Her scenes and her powers, seeing them on screen, very, very bright, vibrant, colorful, beautiful stuff. We've got Adam Smasher, another negative. He looks too fucking much like Deadpool in the mask. Like, the mask looks way too much like Deadpool. You just painted it blue. Other than that, Noah Centineo, good job. Centio, probably messed that name up. I suck at names. We know this already. But he did what he needed to do. He's more of the comic character in this film. Did what he needed to do. Adam Smasher gets big and can help smash stuff. Not so much like Ant-Man, who drinks and all that. So, he gets gigantic and led to some funny scenes as well. But like I said, it's not all comedy. There's a lot of badassery and heart in the film. So yeah, I had an absolute blast watching this movie, and it's got me just thinking about the movie ever since seeing it. Like, I want to see it again, and I'm glad it's been a couple of days. I saw it Thursday night, preview night, and ever since that night, I've been like, I've been thinking about the movie, wanting to see it again. I'm glad it's been some time, because I was trying to gauge, was it the credit scene that is just, made me so in love with this film, or was it the film itself? And honestly, it was the film itself. I know some people are, indifferent to the film. Obviously, you get a 90% audience reaction there, so maybe not too indifferent there, but, and neither here nor there. There are, of course, people are going to pick and choose things that they don't like about the movie. That's fine. We all have our opinions about movies. Nothing is going to change, ever about that in the world. It's perfectly fine. We can all have our own opinions about films. It's not going to change my opinion whatsoever about Black Adam. Had a fantastic, great time with the film. I want to see it again. Hopefully, I can get back to theaters to see the movie because it's worth seeing in theaters. It is a movie to see in theaters without a doubt. And DC is, of course, controversially with what happened with Batgirl, but I understand it. They want all their DC stuff film-wise to be theatrical releases. The big screen, they want it on the big screen. They want the feeling of their films to be really big, and Black Adam being the first one since the takeover, I think it nails it. The movie very much does a great job of playing off of the big screen and making you feel special while you're in the theaters, and seeing all that stuff on theaters definitely resonates. So, Black Adam, 100% a top film. Going in, I didn't think it would make my top 10 films of the year, and, I really got to look into it, but just thinking about it right now, there's been 3 films that are my top 3 films that those aren't going to change. But all 3 of those films had this thing to where it's like I couldn't stop thinking about them. They resonated throughout the year for me. Apparently resonates the word of the day for me, geez. But I'll allow it. But those 3 films just left me with so many great emotions. Couldn't stop thinking about them throughout the year. And, made me want to go back to theaters and see them again. And Black Adam has given me that same feeling. So it'd be insane not to have that movie in my top 10 at the moment. Of course, we're going to have to look at some things. There's been a lot of solid films come out this year, but I will not be surprised if I throw Black Adam in the top 10, because that movie just delivered on everything for me. Like, it just absolutely delivered. Is it a perfect movie? Fuck no. Most comic book movies aren't perfect movies, but is it damn entertaining? Hell yeah, it is. So I say 100% go see Black Adam in theaters. You'll have a good time. It's so good. Definitely highly suggest seeing Black Adam. Now, I did tease it here before we get into the news. Let's check out some films that are coming out later this year. Let's see. Just scrolling through here, I'm looking at Wikipedia. We've got Enola Holmes 2. That could be a fun, cute movie on Netflix. I like the first Enola Holmes movie. Millie Bobby Brown's always fantastic, so that could be a good movie. I don't know if it's not, on the highly anticipated list. Weird Al, the Al Yankovic story. That should be a good movie, a fun time as well. Not, highly anticipated film, but I do want to see it. So, a little anticipation there. Let's see, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We touched on that earlier. The Fablemans. That could be interesting. Let's see. That's the movie from Steven Spielberg. I don't know. Just scrolling here. Scrolling. Christmas Story. Christmas. Disenchanted, The Menu, that does look rather interesting. You got Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy. It does look like an interesting movie. I'm definitely interested in seeing it. Again, highly anticipating, no, but definitely interested in seeing it. Let's see, scrolling. Glass Onion, that could be fun. Do 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 do. Bam, 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 bam. Made it to December. I'm still not seeing anything. Violent Night, that could be fun, but again, not overly anticipating. Another Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie. All right, fair enough. Let's see. Pinocchio. This is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Could be fun, but again, meh. Matilda the Musical, meh. I'm saying man, like I want to see these things, but I'm saying man if it's highly anticipated. Avatar: The Way of Water, fuck that movie. Again, I haven't seen the movie. It's not fair to say that, but I'm not. Avatar is not, taking a bite out of my fancy. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. All right. Let's see. I Want to Dance with Somebody. Yeah, the Whitney Houston film. Okay, let's see. Babylon. Babylon does look interesting. No. Yeah, no. Nothing, nothing highly anticipated the rest of the year. There's some films that I definitely, I'm definitely interested in, and if I get around to seeing them, cool, but they're not must-see films for me, So there you go. Now, I did teased it earlier, there is some huge DC news that came out this week. Today, actually, as recording this episode, Henry Cavill, our generation Superman himself, posted to social media today that he is back as Superman, and went on to say, quote, "Thank you for your support and thank you for your patience," end quote. And then continued on saying, quote, "I promise it will be rewarded," end quote. It will be rewarded. Our patience and support will be rewarded. So freaking happy about this. It has driven me insane to think that Henry Cavill could have been done as this quickly as Superman. He is fantastic. He's perfect Superman. Repeating myself, beating a dead horse, whatever you want to call it. Henry Cavill's my Superman. Never cared about Superman until I saw Henry Cavill's performance as Superman, and so I'm so happy and glad that Henry Cavill is back as our freaking Man of Steel. Can't wait to see where that goes. Obviously, Man of Steel 2 is something that is on the docket. The Rock has very much said he wants to have a film where there's Black Adam versus Superman. I think there's a very solid chance we're going to end up getting that. Of course, Shazam's got to factor in here, Rock has also said he wants to see Black Adam versus Justice League. That is definitely something that could be on the way, as well as the DCEU is building out. Of course, more questions will be, and more paths will be set after this Flash film comes out, as that is supposed to be the soft reboot of the DCEU. But nonetheless, so excited to have our Superman back. Just so much love and happiness. And again, Goose is so happy for Henry Cavill, man. He is been wanting to play the role, and so I'm happy for him. I'm happy for other people who wanted to see him back as Superman. And you know what? Big thank you to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because he's definitely behind this. You've seen all those interviews. I've talked about it on the show. He has been out there saying how great Henry Cavill has been as Superman, and that it would be a shame, if we didn't see him as Superman again. And here we are, Henry Cavill confirming on social media that he is back as Superman. All right, so that is the main DC news I had. The Joker 2 is going to start shooting soon. Other than that, nothing to talk about DC-wise, so we're going to go ahead and jump into horror, where we had the big news of The Conjuring 4. That is officially happening. The plot details are under wraps, but of course, James Wan is back to produce, as well as Peter Safran. They will be back to produce. They have served as producers on all the past films of the franchise. David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick will return to the Conjuring universe as the screenwriter for The Conjuring 4. The writer-producer had previously scripted installments including The Conjuring 2 and The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It. I've been on record, love The Conjuring universe. I'm excited to see The Conjuring 4. Mixed feelings on The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It. I definitely need to go back and watch that one. But I've loved pretty much everything I've seen in the Conjuring universe. There's some films, again, I need to go back and watch. The Nun, that's a movie I need to revisit. I've revisited Annabelle a couple times. I've given that some lead away since seeing it the first time, because I was definitely expecting something else going into that. I should have known better. But, hey, it's still not, it is not as it could have been a better film. It's not as solid as Annabelle Creation or Annabelle Comes Home, of course. Those are two very, very extremely good movies. But yeah, the Conjuring universe, good times, interesting stories. Whether you believe the stories or not is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. They make some damn good movies. Let's see, moving over to Saw, another horror franchise with James Wan. James Wan's got a history with Saw. Tobin Bell has closed and will be back as the Jigsaw Killer, John Kramer, in the upcoming Saw film. Kevin Groter, who directed Saw 6 and Saw the Final Chapter and edited Saw 1 through 5 and the Jigsaw film, will be directing the next installment in the franchise. The film is expected to release October 27th, 2023. Bringing Tobin Bell back further, solidifies what Lionsgate and Twisted Pictures were looking for. Going into this film, they had a goal of making the film be very fan-oriented, and they wanted to capture what the Saw fans loved from past installments. So, of course, bringing Tobin Bell back in as John Kramer, the Jigsaw Killer, would definitely help with that. They want to also keep people guessing with all new traps and a new mystery to solve in the film. Now, spoiler alert for a film that came out several years ago. John Kramer died in Saw 3. So, they've kept him a part of the franchise for a while. I can't remember. I did Nightmare on Revere Street. Season 2 of that was Saw games. And to let you know, a little background here, cooking up some ideas for season 3 of Nightmare on Revere Street. Hit our Patreon. That'll be in 2023. As more things will be cooking over there. But, some ideas are brewing. We got some things that brewing over here. Thinking about the next horror franchise I want to tackle for the nightmares. But, there's definitely, how are you going to do it? What is the interest here? What are you going to end up doing? We shall see. But nonetheless, Tobin Bell is back for the next Saw film. Barbarian will be hitting HBO Max on October 25th, so that's tomorrow? Yeah, as you're listening to it, it's on. As you're listening to this episode, it's either just hit HBO Max or it's already on HBO Max. Alongside, there is a 4K Ultra HD release. The digital release will also include a never-before-seen bonus scene, behind-the-scenes footage, and extra commentary. I'm excited about this. I have not seen Barbarian yet. I have heard good things, though. So, can't wait to jump in that, man. I'll definitely jump into that this week. Are you ready to return to Silent Hill? Well, guess what? You are. Return to Silent Hill has been announced. The film will be directed by Christoph Gans, who directed the 2006 Silent Hill film. The storyboards and pieces of concept art were shown recently, giving fans a brief look at the sort of film that they can expect. Gans said, quote, "They're going back to the best of these stories." And when I say that, I mean Silent Hill 2, end quote, which implies the film will be heavily inspired by Silent Hill 2. So, if you've been waiting for another Silent Hill film, there you go. I think I saw the one Silent Hill film once, and I don't remember being too positive. But, those was a different time. 2006 review, Rob. I tell you, man. He wasn't, studying films, if you will, back then. I don't know, man. I honestly don't remember the first. Just goofing around. I honestly don't remember the first Silent Hill movie all that well. I didn't play the games. I know the games had some creepy moments to it, but yeah, I never played them. So, don't know what to expect, but Silent Hill 2 happening. Return to Silent Hill. Cool. And they get the same person who directed the first Silent Hill film, so whether that's good or bad, I don't know. We'll see. Jamie Lee Curtis, you know her. You love her. She's a scream queen. She's an icon. She's wrapping up Halloween Ends press and all that good stuff. As Halloween Ends has officially come out and freaking attacked the world. People are feeling very angry about this movie. You can hear my review last week. As well, you can hear the rest of the reviews from everybody on the show. I don't think Tombstone Josh gave his review publicly, but hey, he was alright with the movie. And, while we're on this subject, I'm going to go and throw it out there. We are not canceling Jamie Lee Curtis because she doesn't know other actresses, okay? I love Scout Taylor Compton to death. Love Danielle Harris to death. Absolutely love both of them women. They deserve to be upset about what happened. If you don't know, Short and Skinny, They went to the after party of Halloween Ends. They went up to meet Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis was unaware of who they were. Now, it's very on record that Jamie Lee Curtis does not watch horror movies, let alone, I'm sure she does not watch the other Halloween films that she's not a part of. But she does not watch horror movies. She's not a horror movie fan. She's been very much on record of that. So, of course, she would not know Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton because they primarily have done horror films. Now, could it have been handled better? Absolutely. I mean, don't say I don't know who you are. It's like, oh, you've been in the Halloween films. That's great. Yeah, cool. Nice to meet you. Moving forward, I haven't seen them. I'm not a horror fan, but it's nice to meet you. Could have been handled better. Absolutely. But we are not canceling Jamie Lee Curtis because that is fucking stupid. Get your cancel culture bullshit out of the way. Done with it. It's disgusting. Anyways, moving forward. Jamie Lee Curtis, we got some talk in a freaking Haunted Mansion, man. The freaking good time, spooky fun time ride at the Walt Disney World parks. The Walt Disney parks. Disneyland, Walt Disney World. I'm so far removed from Disney talk. I don't hate Disney. I'm honestly like clamoring at the bits to get back to a Disney park at this point. I'm already, wrapping the idea around next year's Halloween Horror Nights trip to hit a Mickey's Not So Scary trip in there because I'm getting that itch to go back to Disney. It's been several years since I've been to Disney. I'm getting that itch, man, especially for the Haunted Mansion ride. Love that ride to death. It just calls to me. Like, it's such a great ride. And Jamie Lee Curtis will be in the next Haunted Mansion film as Madame Leota. Can't wait to see that. She's going to do fantastic. She talked a little bit about Haunted Mansion recently when asked about it. She said, quote, "It's a modern, fresh, old-fashioned, and scary, but not scary like a monster movie. It's scary like a Disney ride and funny. If you go onto that ride, there's a lot of humor as well as the scary, ghosty stuff." End quote. Yes, that is very much what the ride is. So if the film is like that, bring it on, dude. They did another Haunted Mansion film with Eddie Murphy, which did not hit well. I wasn't the biggest fan of it either. Loving Haunted Mansion and loving Eddie Murphy. The film just did not hit for me. So, and I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe I can check it out again, but I don't know if I want to. But I'm happy that they're doing this movie. I would have loved to have seen Guillermo del Toro's version of the Haunted Mansion. Hopefully one day, fingers crossed, we'll still be able to get that. But we're here now with this Haunted Mansion film. We'll see how it turns out. The film is due to arrive next August. Let's see. Peacock is getting Nope. Nope will be releasing on Peacock November 18th. In addition to the film itself, of course, Peacock subscribers will get access to a new documentary featuring the making of Nope, which will have interviews and behind-the-scenes footage. So if you have the Peacock, November 18th, you'll be getting Nope. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the last bit of news I had. Holy crap, are we through with everything already on this episode? Holy wow. All right, so I guess so. Let's see if I can find some quick bits of news here, man. We got through this episode pretty quick. Let's see. Of course, last week's episode was over an hour, so I could probably get out of here a little quick. But let's see. The Quarry video game is going back to the 50s for Halloween with some new DLC, so go ahead and check that out. That game is from the awesome, amazing crew over there at Supermassive Games. They do some great stuff. Let's see. While talking video games, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game introduced 2 new villains. So you can go check that out if you're interested in checking that out. Let's see. Megan, the James Wan produced doll movie that has been receiving a lot of praise after the trailer first came out. That movie has now been moved up to release a week earlier. So it's moving from January 13th, 2023 to January 6th, 2023. So we'll be starting off 2023 in spooky fashion, baby. Let's see. Jumping over to DC. As expected, I talked about this last week with the news of Walter Hamada leaving. Ray Fisher has spoken about the exit, and of course he is happy about it. He said, quote, "Walter Hamada tried to protect his toxic and discriminatory colleagues. He failed. He tried to bury me and the Justice League investigation with lies in the trades. He failed. He's a product of old Hollywood. May we never experience his like again. Onward." So there you go. We don't know what the future of Ray Fisher and Cyborg is with the DC universe. We'll see what that is. There's a rumor that Ben Affleck is signed on to do more as Batman, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, crew. That's the news, man. Let me check one more thing, see if I got anything else for you. Just some random bits of movie news out there, maybe. Oh, you know what? I do remember seeing something about Star Wars, and I have not talked Star Wars in quite some time. So let's. I did tease talking to Ant-Man and the Wasp, didn't I? All right, we'll talk those two things, and then we'll end this episode. Going back to Black Adam real quick. Black Adam is the biggest opening Rock-led film. So The Rock's biggest opening ever as a leading man happened with Black Adam. So congratulations to The Rock, much deserved there. Quick bits on the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer. You know, it looks like a good time. Love Paul Rudd. Love me some Catherine Newton. She's fantastic. So overall, I mean, the cast is strong. You're getting some returning characters. You're getting the addition of Catherine Newton as well as Bill Murray and Kang the Conqueror. You know, it should be a good movie. We're moving into the quantum realm. We'll see how it goes. You know, I love Paul Rudd. I'm into Paul Rudd's comedy. So we'll see what happens there. It does look interesting to say the least. We'll check it out at some point in time. Again, I'm not a Marvel hater. I'm just not blind to what Marvel puts out. Let's see. So, last bit of news here, Star Wars. Like I said, we haven't talked about Star Wars a little bit, it seems, on the show. We do know that a new Star Wars film is in the works from Damon Lindelof, who will be co-writing the script. All right, so, of course, the things about the film remain under wraps. When the film will start shooting is not known at the moment, but it does seem like there is some push to get the film out. This seems like there's some motivation behind making this the next big Star Wars thing. So we don't know for sure there, but cool, man. I'm into Star Wars. I got into Star Wars later in life. I know that's different. A lot of people get into Star Wars when they were young, but yeah, I mean, I really got into Star Wars with The Force Awakens, and I know people shit on that new trilogy. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed, all the Star Wars films, to be honest with you. I find something good about all of them and have a good time. When I freaking loved the Obi-Wan Kenobi show earlier this year. Like, I remember the last time a show just made me stay up until 4 a.m. just binge watching it. It was so, God, what a show. So, of course, stay tuned to the show. I will update when we get more news on that. I did see something I was saying it may have some Rise of Skywalker characters in it, as it'll be taking place after the storyline of the Rise of Skywalker. That, of course, has not been confirmed. I will confirm that when it gets confirmed, but we'll talk about that at a later time. And that seems like the next, thing to think about. Rogue Squadron, of course, has been put on the back burner. We don't know anything there, and other Star Wars projects are going on, as well as the Andor show's out, which I need to check out. I'm so behind on shows. Like, I still behind on The Mandalorian, if you can believe it or not. I'm sure you do believe it, but that's neither here nor there. That will conclude the episode, though. Again, please check out the Thrill Me Podcast Network. We've got The Metal Groove, starring Tombstone Josh, new episode out now, talking about the rock stars and their kids who are also rock stars, as well as other fun news. We've got a new Haunters Podcast episode out. We've got this show coming out. We've got a Mr. Wonderful show coming out, and we'll have a new Improper Guidance out this week. Of course, all of these will be on our YouTube. That is the Thrill Me Podcast Network. Again, Zach is doing some video gameplay. Yep, he's got them up. He's doing some good stuff over there, dropping them on there. Got a new trailer reaction for Ant-Man and Quantumania, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania, whatever the fuck it's called. That is out there. We've got, I will do some more WWE 2K stuff to put out there. Like I mentioned, I've got my Black Adam quick review up there with the boxing of a Black Adam Funko I picked up. And, just some good fun times going on over there on the YouTube. We've also got a TikTok. We've got an Instagram. We've got a Facebook. Please like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Help us grow. We appreciate you always taking the time to listen to us babble on about all the stuff we talk about. But as always, it is an honor to do this show. I love doing this show. I have a great time doing the show. It felt really good doing this episode, man. I feel good doing a lot of my episodes lately. I just love doing this show. And again, if it reaches just one person, couldn't be happier. That is amazing to me that anybody want to listen to me nerd out, geek out, if you will, about movies and all the stuff I geek out about, man. So talk to all of you next episode, Halloween, is upon us. Hope you have a safe Halloween. We will not talk again until Halloween. I'll be recording that night, maybe. We'll see how chocolate wasted I get, if you will, on candy, because Halloween. But nonetheless, please be safe. Have a safe, fun time. Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I hope you all have a great time. Again, appreciate y'all. Can't say it enough. And remember, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one remembers to turn on the light. Talk to you all next episode.
Thank you for joining me this week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to get updates on all new episodes. As well, follow me on Twitter at review_it_Rob. Stay tuned for more adventures.